And so that's why learning ni is a lifelong process, kan. So how and why we behave the way we have is often enough, even experiences yang daripada kita kecil, kan, daripada even maybe when kita umur 3 tahun 2 tahun sometimes, kan, that anxiety or that macam keresahan or that macam, and we also wonder how come I process like this, kan, and that of course accumulates throughout the years lah, kan. So but if we have this mindset where we're always here to learn, unlearn, kan, so there's some things that we habits or perspectives that mungkin serves us at a specific time tapi may not serve us anymore after at another point of our life, kan. So I think understanding that, you know, we are the way we are because we've picked up consciously, subconsciously, vicariously or actively. Okay, vicariously ni is by looking lah, yeah, by observing, yeah. And so kita, that's why we are lah the way. Kadang-kadang mak kita macam mana, kita punya bibik macam mana, kita punya interaction dengan atuk nenek kita macam mana, dengan makcik-makcik kita macam mana, dengan school friends kita macam mana, dengan cikgu-cikgu kita macam mana. So all these things accumulate to how we do things and why we do things as well, yeah. And I think that's the importance of being mindful. Mindful is also so associated to our consciousness as well, how conscious we are of our own self and the people around us. Sebab kadang-kadang kita ada konsep where kita tengok orang, kita tak kisah tu orang lain punya problem, kan. But we realise that everyone is connected to each other one way or another, kan. But it doesn't mean we have to be menyebuk everybody every time as well, right? But it's by being mindful and conscious about how we are, why we behave and things like that, helps us to constantly improve the way we are. Sebab kita ni memang work in progress. Dia bukan macam race, okay, kita bukan, I'm not racing with Chucky, I'm not racing with Sheila, I'm not racing with any one of you. You're not also racing with any one of between you to prove who's the better one or who's more successful. You're not racing with your sibling, you're not racing with your school friend, you're not in a race to show who's most happy or most successful. Because sometimes kita feel that we're in a race, hence why people call it a rat race, kan, because we're always comparing with other people, kan. Macam there's that cliche of like going to school reunion, semua nak tunjuk one up, kan. Kalau boleh nak datang naik helikopter, kan, macam gempak betul, kan. But you know, I mean, by the end of the day, what's the point, right? I mean, if you have that perspective, then you're just going to, like, it's not living for Allah, right? But it's like, you know, for the dunyawi and the people around and all these like superficial concepts, yeah. So, and these kind of things is not productive, I believe, yeah. And even science has shown it's not productive, yeah. So yeah, one of the reasons, the main reasons is that lah, nurture and nature. Okay, nurture where, you know, how your parents bring you up, right? But your nature as well. Okay, so if you're conscious about you ni, memang setengah orang may be introvert, but it doesn't stop them from, you know, being a public speaker, or it doesn't stop them from being an actor, right? Or it doesn't stop them from being a singer, right? So of course, I mean, you can never really, I mean, there's a saying that, you know, you're never too old to teach an old dog new tricks, and but it doesn't become easier for sure in one sense, but it doesn't mean it's also that much more difficult. Because when you're younger, you have your own set of challenges learning about something, right? Your eagerness, right? You memang banyak tenaga tapi you waste a lot of energy, right? But when you're older, you might not need as much energy to learn a specific thing as how you would need dulu, kan? Tapi sometimes also because kita punya neurons maybe not firing as fast as it used to, kita punya synapses are not as segar as it used to, kan? And so it does not necessarily become easier as well, but it's not impossible. Like I started to want to learn back mengaji after like high school tu, I dah 15 tahun tak mengaji, kan. Khatam last sekali masa 17, kan. But then, like, you know, 5-6 years ago, I decided I wanted to start mengaji again. So I mengaji lah, and then, you know, it picked up quite, alhamdulillah, kan, gradually, and the reading was quite faster. tapi the hafaling is totally not Hafiz class kan. As in like, kan, nak hafal satu juz pun memang belum kan. Satu juzuk pun nak kata 30 juzuk lagi kan. Satu juz pun terkepil-kepil lagi kan. And it's because obviously, you know, our mind, you know, as we get in a more advanced stage of our lives, kita tak pick up as fast as we used to kan. But it doesn't mean it's impossible also. And also your goals also become a bit different as well. Maybe similar but slightly different kan. Macam, you know, and the method also is a bit different of how you learn. Macam when I wanted to get back to learning about our religion, because I went through this whole 20 years of like searching macam-macam from university days, and then, you know, learning about Buddhism, meditation, mindfulness, all these concepts, learning yoga, right? Macam-macam lah I belajar at that time. And then after that I wanted to learn back agama kan. I wanted to like strengthen my akidah foundation, and you know, my fardu ain, right? But I couldn't go and sign up at a sekolah pondok or a pesantren, right? I mean, and I cannot like duduk 5 tahun or 3 tahun duduk pesantren, right? But we try different ways lah. Then I went to travel many times. I went to travel around Indonesia lah kan. And then I had a good friend who became an imam of a masjid, my best friend from college juga. And then he opened the doors to all his other friends yang ada run pesantren, ada this dekat Kediri, Indonesia, dekat near Jawa Timur kan. There's the biggest pesantren there called Lirboyo kan. It's an amazing sekolah pondok there, more like a university actually, but they call it sekolah pondok. But you know, I mean, I couldn't sign up like how a normal student would, but I was able to go to the classes, and I was able to ngopi with the guru-guru, right, and spend few hours petang malam borak. As we borak, I learn lah. I ask questions as well, and then I nak belajar tentang something, and so you learn in different ways. So it's never too old to, you know, too late to learn new things, but there's a realization that you can't do the same ways as you did when you were 17 lah kan. Bila kita 17 ni, our process is a bit different, but it's about understanding that learning is a continuous thing anyway. Ramai je orang yang suddenly at 50 change their profession kan. At 55 suddenly they want to learn a new skill. I know this person who was like an engineer for the entire life, and then at 58 dia ada main cello just for fun a bit, taklah terror sangat, tapi dia main lah on the side. Tapi at 58 dia nak belajar dia nak belajar art therapy, sebab dia nak using cello, using music. So at 58 dia masuk balik kelas. I mean, he started to kind of do this like weekend learning and thing. And then at 60 he masuk this program untuk ajar budak-budak art therapy through music using the cello kan. Tapi dia engineer kan for 50 years kan. So imagine from being an engineer for 50 years, super technical person, right, working with machines, right, to suddenly in the late 50s, right, 58, you go take a latihan, some course, right, to learn about the concepts of music therapy, and then you go and finish off the remainder of your life to learn about to do that. So you can, right, itu lagi drastic, right, from one. So yeah, I mean, I always believe it's never too late to learn, and also there's things that we also need to unlearn sometimes also. And that's very difficult, but it's possible. But you need that awareness that you need to unlearn it first. Ke benda yang unlearn ni lagi susah daripada benda yang learn. Ke unlearn ni you have to take away the habits and the stigma and the perspective that you've like ingrained in your mind, right, all this time. To unlearn something is very difficult, but not impossible. It just takes takes consciousness things first, and of course the will to do it. And kalau you betul-betul nak buat, insyaAllah you boleh kan.